to another episode of our Street Parliament series, where we interact with citizens on the street on topical issues before the National Assembly. Well, this week we will be focusing on a motion that was stepped down in the House of Representatives. The motion sought to call on the federal government to assist students with the cost of secondary school examinations, which includes WAEC, NECO, and JAMB. Now, according to the sponsor of the motion, Rep. Anamero Dekeri, who represents Esako Federal Constituency in Edo State, the motion, if passed, will assist low-income families with education of their wards as a form of palliative, particularly in the payment of examination fees using the part of monies retained from subsidy removal. Well, to cut the long story short, the motion was rejected by the lawmakers on grounds that some of them are already sponsoring their constituent education. Fair enough, but the argument was that some, just some, not all the lawmakers. So, what happens to those who do not benefit from this, or those whom their lawmakers do not pay for their examination fees? However, Rep. Moruf Afuape, who represents Abeokuta South in Ogun State, moved an amendment that the benefit should be for only public schools. But then again, a Rivers State lawmaker, Rep. Awaji Inombek Abiante, countered it and said that making the motion exclusive to public schools is discriminatory and against the Constitution. Now, on this ground, he moved for the entire motion and all amendments to be stepped down, and this was adopted following a voice vote by the House. Anyways, let's hear what our street parliamentarians have to say about this.
To my own opinion, is good because if you see that mostly Nigerians are broke, the people's salary, people's income doesn't increase, but economy, there's inflation everywhere. So if they can pay the students either WAEC, NECO or JAMB, it will be a relief on the part of the parents. So it will help a lot to me.
For them to go ahead with such kind of idea, it will have been something great. At least it's another means of the poor to be among the beneficiaries, because there are so many students. We have so many students whose parents don't have the means to train them in school. So for the lawmakers to come in to assist such poor parents in order to see that their children go to school, register WAEC and NECO, after which they go to any of the higher institutions, it will have been a tremendous idea.
The government of Nigeria we have today, if you see them, they impose something and then later they bring it down, is because generally it's not going to be beneficial for them. You understand? Mm-hmm. So because they brought something to their table that will be beneficial to them, not for the masses. So if they vote against it, because they see people will no longer depend on them because it is already been approved. So people will not go and okay, oh God, this and that. So they don't need something that will be more achievable to the masses.
First of all, I have not seen anyone that benefited. I myself have not benefited. I have not even had anywhere that anybody benefited from this motion. And that they do not support it is because of their selfish reason. Basically, this to show to all Nigerians that these people are there for their own interests. As even if they sponsor exam fees like WAEC or NECO or JAM, it's not even enough. But it will go a long way helping parents where we are today. It will go a long way. Believe me, many parents, many children are not going to write WAEC or NECO this year, because many are at home now, they cannot even pay school fees, so they are not going to write. So that motion is a good move, and we expect all of them to support it.
All right, to me, I think that is a very nice one if you're looking at it. And presently now, with the way the country is going, the fuel subsidy and everything, the hardship, the inflation and the unemployment, I believe that is a good motion that's supposed to be looked at too. In as much as it was stepped down, government should also look at it to know how they will be able to work on it, to see how to make sure that the burden of education is losing, most especially to people in the rural area, so that they can be able to have access to good education too, which will go a long way in giving us in making education accessible. But if you are looking at it at the same time again, government is trying to like see that they are not the only people, they are not the only person to take care of education, and private sector should also come into that. They have other priority.
I want the government to please help my parents so that and the money they spent was too much. So I want the government to help my parents so that during my WAEC and NECO, they should during my WAEC and NECO they can help me to do one or two things.
I expect the government to help the school people actually let them go to school and let them be perfect, let them be good in future. They should help me and pay my school fees, help us in assisting us in our home.